Helen Hadsell is known as the most winning person on earth. Helen has won over 5,000 contests and prizes using the law of attraction. The prizes include numerous home appliances, bicycles, furniture, cameras, trips in first class, money, and even a 4,300 square foot home in Texas. The odds of her winning all these prizes are trillions to 1. Listen to her story.
About how you got started with contesting?
Yes. Norman Vincent Peale had the book called The Power of Positive Thinking. And I had picked it up, read it, and there were two things that really enticed me to research further, and that was when he said, you can have anything you want, provided you know what it is. See yourself as already having it. And those were three things that intrigued me. And I was, just a little happy homemaker, no education, high school education, period. And the mother of 3 and sitting home and needing a lot of little creature comfort things, And so I thought, well, that sounds exciting. So that night, my husband got in and I said, I read this book, and I said, what would you like? And he was reading the Dallas Morning News. And he said, well, looky here, Coca-Cola has a contest. And you can win an outboard motor. All you have to do is write 25 words while you take Coca-Cola on outings. And I said, and then outboard motor. And then he went on and finished reading his paper. Well, I went into the bedroom, and he's won an outboard motor. So I sit there, and I thought, Coca-Cola on outings, a pad. And I thought, we don't even drink Cokes. That's going to be a tough one. But I saw him sitting in a boat with his motor, enjoying himself. So now I'm sitting there, and I see him in this boat, and I write, I'm a lone wolf fisherman. Cokes are my silent partners. They contribute no yakety yak, only enjoyment when called upon. 25 words. Put it in an envelope, mailed it off, and actually said to him, I wonder how long it's going to take him to let us know we won. Now, that's positive thinking. I didn't know any better. I just knew I wrote that story, that incident, he's got to win it. 2 weeks later, the representative from Coca-Cola called and said, Mr. Hadsell, you won your outboard motor. I thought, well, that's nice. Then we got all the little stuff. Now I want linoleum for the floor, and I get linoleum. Then I want something else, and I get it. Now I'm thinking bigger. Now I want to win trips. The children want to go to Disneyland. And so we get to won this trip to Disneyland. We all get there. And it was a fabulous, fabulous trip. And later on, we did win a trip to Dude Ranch, and we did go to the Dude Ranch, and then we went a trip to the World's Fair, did go to the World's Fair, and one thing that was real funny, I was going to be 40 years old, and I had read that Paris is a city of light, love, and excitement, and I wanted to be on the 1st of January. I said, what are we going to do this year? And Pat said, well, I said, I want to be in Paris, France, sitting at a sidewalk cafe, drinking wine on my 40th birthday. And I started to enter contests, only contests that were offering trips. And there were many of them. There was a lot of trips always in contesting. And everything went fine, but I only won 3rd prize, which is a Hammond electric organ. and it didn't win that prize. And I said, well, why did they give me an electric organ? And you know, somebody said to cultivate patience. So I have this big electric Hammond organ, and here it is now. My birthday's the 1st of June, and here it is April already, and I still haven't had this trip now. We're going to have to plan this trip. We're going to be there drinking wine, and my husband even said, well, we have enough money. I said, no, I'm going to win this with a trip. Well, it seemed like the last minute. I send that entry off, and lo and behold, I got a phone call and said, Mr. Hadsel, I used his name and and my name, you won a trip to Venice, Italy. And I thought, well, I don't want to, I've been to Venice, I want to go to Paris. And the man said, well, you can change, your first class, and you can change whatever you want to do. And he said, when would you like the tickets? I said, like right now. And he had a messenger come and bring these tickets. And we got on the plane, and to make a long story short, on my 40th birthday, I was at that sidewalk with my husband drinking wine. So we did this. This is something else I need to bring up, because I thought this was, well, it was nice. My husband and I are sitting here one afternoon, and I just got back from a trip, a long trip, and sometime he went with me and sometime he didn't. And he'd go with me first time, and then the second time he got bored because I was always counseling people, and then at night I was in mine, and he knew everything. So, but anyway, we're sitting here. He said, let's do something let's do something exciting. What do you want to do? I said, you know, I love New York. I said, and I noticed in the paper that they're having this the best little whorehouse in Texas. And I said, I would love to go and see that off-Broadway show. And he said, well, I'll tell you what, let's have lunch, and I'll start calling the airlines, and we'll see what we can do. He says, sounds like fun, doesn't it? We're eating lunch, and we come back here for coffee, and the phone rings. Mrs. Hadsel, I said, yes. He said, I'm Rich Little. You don't know him, but he was producing a show to tell the truth in New York. And he said, your name came up as a very, very good contestant. How would you like to come to New York and be on my show? I said, I looked at Pat and I thought, God, is this for real? And I said, what is it, Tom? He said, well, it's to tell the truth, and the show had just started. And he said, we'll pay all your expenses first class, and what else do you want? And I said, could I have tickets to this off-Broadway show? Will Success Ball Rock Hunt? And he said, no, what else? And I said, well, my husband wanted to come. Well, okay, we'll do a trip. We'll give your husband a ticket also, and what else? I mean, you know, when they want you, they want you. And he said, everything that we advertise, you will also get. Electric blankets, mix, whatever they were advertising. I said, when do you want me? When do you want? He said, well, you come this week or next week. And I said, well, let's see. And my husband said, this week. So I said, how about this week? Well, we'll have your tickets for you by courier tomorrow morning. So we went to New York, had this hotel, saw this Broadway play, was there 3 days, they usually pay all expenses. So what is it? I mean, you know, there were many, many instances where I would hear of something. The thing, I'm digressing, I'm sorry, because you're interested in being a winner. And all of you out there are winners, you know that. And you can have anything you want, provided you know what it is, see yourself as having it, and if there's a delay in results, don't be disappointed. Maybe you need to cultivate a little more patience. That's all it is. and it's yours. And you say, but the competition is so fierce, so fierce. And I says, eventually, if you stay with something long enough and strong enough, it's energy. And it's got to come to you. That's the law of attraction.
Helen has created a 4-letter formula that was the key to her manifesting and winning more contests than anyone else in history. The 4-letter word is SPEC. S-P-E-C. 1. S. Select it. The first step is to select the thing you wish to have. Choose exactly the thing that you want with as much detail as possible. The brand, the color, etc. You have to know exactly what you want. 2. P. Project it. The next thing is to imagine yourself already having it. If it's a new car, then how do you feel sitting in it? How does it smell? How does the engine sound? How soft is the seat you are sitting in? Imagine driving it around town. The more detail backed with positive emotions, the better. After entering a contest and waiting for the results, Helen always did this specific visualization. It's also important to have faith so that no negative feelings or doubts will arise. If they do, they simply neutralize the positive work you have done, killing your results. 3. E. Expect it. You must be absolutely certain that the thing will come, no doubts. It's like ordering something from the internet. You have the certainty that it will come when the time is right. 4. C. Collect it. Now it's time to get it. You may be required to take some small action to actually receive your manifestation. This action can come to you as an idea or a hunch, but when it does, take the necessary risk. This is Helen's secret formula that has won her more contests than anyone else in history. SPEC. S-P-E-C.